Hiya, so I'm John, 45 from the UK. I suffer with type 1A of Charcot Marie Tooth. The way in which I manage this disease is that I keep fit and active by using the gym, doing weights and keeping fit with cardio that I can do also. So in these videos, I am going to talk you through some exercises that you can do with CMT that'll fit your needs, keep you safe, but it means being in a gym environment so that you can safely perform the exercises without putting too much pressure on your joints, your ligaments, your tendons, and causing balance issues too. So I hope you enjoy the videos. They're there to help you. I coach people online also, and so I am very tenacious about when I do help people, I am aiming to make sure that they lift with correct form and execute the exercises properly.
My name is Julie Stone, and I'm a certified personal trainer, and I also have CMT. I work with people who have CMT to help them feel stronger, more stable, and just generally better moving through their everyday lives. I work out with people online in the comfort of their homes, and we use a lot of equipment like resistance bands. A lot of our exercises are seated, and we work on balance exercises in a safe environment where you know where there are things you can hold on to. Goals are really important to your fitness journey, but something that I like to implement with my fitness programming is loving your body every step of the way, not just when you hit that goal, but starting from day one, learning to love yourself, your body, accepting your CMT and the way you are while we work towards these goals. I'm really excited to be doing this collab to show you some workouts that you can do at home or in the gym. So let's go ahead, let's dive right in.
This video of exercises all for the legs is now about the leg press. Now, I can't free weight squat, so I can use a Smith machine, but I can't do it with free weights. But I like to leg press because I feel safe in this machine. I'm seated, I'm buckled in, I can do it at my own pace and tempo in a safe manner. Now, you are going to put a bit of pressure on your joints, but I'm not having to balance as I was stood up because I'm sat down and it's all within my grasp. I want you to put your head back. Don't spend the exercise trying to put your head up because you'll cause pressure on your spine and cause neck ache basically. So again, don't overload it, but I want you to come down at a 3, 2, 1, as deep down as you can get. Hold it in the pit for a second, straight back up, but don't extend your legs too far for pressure on your knees. 3, 2, 1, hold. And as you can see, I've got a nice control, full depth, range of motion, tempo bang on, and I'm actually working every single part of my leg as I should. Now, this is working your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, and also your core.
I personally love this exercise because we're in this safe seated position. We don't have to worry about falling. It works out the same muscles as a squat, and we can get that full range of motion that so many of us with CMT can't get with a squat. How this exercise works is we're gonna start by sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna take that resistance band, put it on the foot here, and then we're gonna press down towards the ground. I press at a little bit of an angle, just slightly, and we're going slow and controlled. This is not a speed exercise. We wanna have control here. And then the other thing we want to look at is our knee. Is our knee kicking in, out? We don't want that. Is it kind of shaking on the way down? We want to keep that knee nice and controlled and keep it tracking right in the same path of the foot. And then the other thing is watching the foot. Is it internally or externally rotating? We want to keep it straight as possible as we do this exercise. And then if you feel like one band is too easy, You can go ahead, you can double up on the bands like so, and it just makes it a little bit harder to do. So you can always make the exercises harder from home as well. Awesome. Great work. I hope you enjoyed.
CMT and leg exercises in a gym. So the leg extension is my favourite exercise to do for legs, and if I could only do one exercise for legs for the rest of my life, this would be it. And why, you might ask, and that is because I'm seated, I'm safe, I'm buckled in. It's not like doing a free weight squat where I've got to find my balance, my ankles are leaning over, my feet are leaning out, it's putting pressure on my knees, my ligaments. With this machine, I can get myself planted in, isolate the quads and work them with full range of motion and intensity and keep the tempo right. So what I want you to do when you do this is buckle yourself in, push your back to the back pad rest, and I want you to come up with a powerful lift, a squeeze at the top, and a 3, 2, 1 down, and straight back in. Squeeze, 3, 2, 1, squeeze. It's not about lifting massive amounts of weight. I would sooner you start off with literally nothing and work your way up in small increments at your own rate of progress. That is how you truly improve your physique and your strength.
For the leg extension, we're going to need a loop resistance band. You can, of course, take that longer resistance band and tie it in a knot. Personally, with the CMT hands, I hate untying those bands, so I would get some loop ones. I like to put the band on the chair, like so. You can also put the band underneath the foot, so I'll show it that way, just in case you're on a couch. What we're gonna do is put the band around both the ankles or around one chair leg, one ankle. We're gonna put the feet one in front, one behind, and then you can step on this band in the back if it kind of rides up. And then we're gonna kick the leg straight out and then nice, slow, and controlled back down. I'm gonna pull my leg back because I don't have as good range of motion here. There we go. Make sure we're sitting up nice and tall. We're not slouching. We should have good posture for all of our exercises. Great work. And then I also just wanna show a couple with the band under the chair. This to me just is a lot easier for keeping the band from sliding up your leg. It just helps to like ride up the leg. So keep that foot in line. You'll obviously be sitting straight in the chair just for this video, so I'm at a good angle. I'm sitting here and we're gonna kick out like so. So this is how you would do it attached to the chair.
I think that all those people with CMT can agree that the hardest body parts to work are your legs. And even so, nothing more harder than working the hamstrings, the back of your legs in the gym. And so we're very limited on the movements that we can do. But another exercise that I really like to do to work my hamstrings and really isolate them is this seated leg curl. This machine is safe. It's not putting pressure on the joints, the feet, the ankles. I'm not having to stand up to do it, causing balance issues. I can sit down, brace myself in, and do the exercise and commit to lifting with good form. So I'm going to vice my legs in, put my quads against the knee pad, and I'm going to pull back. I'm going to pull my heels back towards my bum. A nice powerful pull back, hold, a squeeze, and then a release at 3, 2, 1. So like this, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. And as I always talk about, don't go crazy with the weight. It is about lifting a weight that suits you, that challenges you, getting used to the movement, and then building up once you are in that position to do so. But this works the hamstrings, a little bit of the glutes, so that's the back of your legs into the bum part of your body. And again, as much as I believe in having strong, bigger quads, it's just as essential to have strong hamstrings to maintain healthy function of your legs and that day-to-day living.
We're going to be doing an at-home hamstring curl. For this, we can do it on the floor. If you're unable to come down to the floor, go ahead, just lay on your bed or lay on your couch. Is a great alternative. We're going to use a loop resistance band. For some people, the loop resistance band might be kind of hard. I know it is for me personally. So you don't have to use resistance for this, and you're still going to get a pretty good workout. If you're wearing AFOs, those AFOs are already a weight. So you can just stick with wearing AFOs while you do this, and that's adding some poundage to your legs already. So I'm going to show both versions. We are going to go down into the prone position, so laying on the stomach here. I like to either put a pillow down or lay my head on my hands, and then we curl that leg towards us, bring it towards our butt, and then try nice and slow and controlled back down. So curling and then back down. So that is without resistance. With resistance, we're putting that band around the ankles. Same thing, going face down, and then from here we're curling. I'm so bad at these. Curling, nice, slow, and control back down. When you do this, I want you to really keep that core tight, because you're going to try to compensate if this is hard and use your low back, which I don't want you to do. So keep the core tight. We don't want any pain right here in that low back area. We're gonna be doing the at-home version of a calf raise. There are several different versions of this, so I wanna show all of them. We're gonna do the plantar flex with resistance, which if you've ever gone to physical therapy, you probably know what that is. We're gonna do a seated calf raise and how to progress that. And then I'm gonna show you how to progress a calf raise from there into that potentially full standing calf raise. This exercise may not be for you. For some of us, our CMT has progressed to the point where calf raises are no longer possible, and that's okay. So if this is not for you, don't feel bad. Go ahead, skip this video, because there are so many other good ones for me and John. If you've ever gone to physical therapy, ever watched a video on CMT, gone to a conference, they talk about how important this is. So this is our plantar flex. It's that gas pedal. So we're pressing down with the foot. Press down. If you can't do this, but like you can maybe wiggle the ankle a little bit, but you can't actually have that resistance on it while you press, what I do instead is I use this band as an assist. So you kind of have it loose, and then you press like the 80% you can press, and then you let the band help, and then you bring the foot up the best you can, and then you let that band help a little bit. So you pull a tiny bit. So you're using the band as an assistance. So either way works, whether that band is actively being a resistance and adding weight, or if the band is being a helper and helping you make this motion. You do that 80%, 60 to 80%, and then the band does that last bit for you. Because if you have that movement still, if you're still able to do a little bit of that movement, it's really great to work out those muscles, because you can strengthen them as long as the nerves aren't dead. So in the chair, you'll have those legs, and then you're gonna press up onto the toes and then back down, nice, slow and controlled. Press up and down. Good. Press up and down. You can eventually add dumbbells to this. So adding a little bit of weight. If you don't have dumbbells, you can also apply pressure by just pushing down onto the legs, like so. The way that we're gonna progress the calf raise is we're essentially gonna take some body weight off, and then as time progresses, as you practice, you'll continue to add weight. So the first way to do this is kind of going into this like incline plank position from here. And then we're gonna try and go up onto the toes and then back down, up and then down. So the angle of your body is gonna determine how much weight is on your feet. So this is less weight, and then as you get better and better, you can pull the feet in, and then from here, go into that as well. I'm still putting quite a bit of weight forward as I do this. And then eventually, I'm not able to do a standing one, but eventually you'll be able to come up to standing, do this calf raise from a standing position.
The calves are probably the most asked about muscle that people message me about. How do I work calves? And there's only one exercise for me. You can't do a standing calf, and it's uncomfortable for me. I don't like doing it. I feel unstable. The seated calf machine for me is the place to be because I'm seated. I feel safe. My legs are bent, my knees are bent. I don't like my knees being completely straight. And I can't get a very good range of motion. However, the bit of range of motion I can get, I squeeze out of it. So this, for me, is all about doing what you can, which is not a lot. It's only a couple of inches from me, as you can see. Pushing down, concentrate on working the calves. And, you know, when I first started training, I had nothing in my calves. And I built them up. I might have improved them by 10 or 15%. I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't need monstrous calves like some of the Mr. Olympia bodybuilders out there, but it's just nice to have a little bit of visual improvement and also an improvement in terms of the strength around that area. Now, I'm not saying this is going to cure anything and make everything 10 times better, but it is nice to have a little bit more muscle around the calf area. The seated leg calf.
We are going to be doing a row, which is going to help strengthen the upper back. This is a great workout. If you sit at a desk all day, you're kind of hunched forward. It's going to help pull those shoulders back. What we're going to do is we are going to put the band down by the feet. We're going to sit up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back and down, and then we're going to exhale, roll those arms back, feel those shoulder blades coming together, and then back down. Exhale, inhale. As you do this, we're gonna keep that upper body really still. Sometimes I see people kind of rocking in and out of this. Don't do that. Upper body stays nice and still. Core is tight. Nice job. If you struggle with hand grip, an easy solution is to use a loop band and then put it around your wrists. You're gonna put your arms straight out, roll those shoulders back and down, and same exact movement, bringing that band towards you. Nice, slow, and controlled.
Doing any kind of free weight back exercise with CMT, so having to balance using your feet, your legs, your ankles, it's really difficult for me and a lot of people with CMT. So I tend to use back machines for the stability. I can't do deadlifts. Some people can with CMT, but I can't do them. So the next best thing for me is a chest supported T-bar row. So what I want you to do is position yourself so you're comfortable, so your chest is fully on the chest support. I like to take a wide grip, pull the weight up to my chest, a slight squeeze at the top, and then a release of 3 seconds to the bottom. So really concentrating on working the lats. So that's the back. So a nice powerful up, squeeze at the top, 2, 1, down, straight back up, squeeze, 2, 1, back down. Now, how many reps you do is dependent on your training plan. This is really isolating the back muscles. I think it's really important to have good upper body strength if you're using things like crutches, grab bars when you're coming up steps and downstairs and whatnot. So that's T-bar row. Okay, so doing free weight exercises is very difficult for us people with CMT, especially when I'm trying to work my back. I can't do a bent over row where I'm having to use my feet to balance. So a good option is doing a cable row, seated. You could do this with a chest support also. I like to use wrist straps to help with the grip because, like anybody with CMT, I do struggle with gripping my hands, and it helps support the hands and the wrist. So what I want you to do is get comfortable, seated position, keeping your back straight, and pull the handle to your tummy. So you're working your lats, you're isolating your lats, which is your back. Nice momentum, squeeze at the tummy, back down at 3 seconds. Nice Powerful up, squeeze, 2, 3. Squeeze, 2, 3. Not overstretching, but just enough to get that full execution, range of movement on the exercise that you're doing. So this is a seated cable row, and for me, it takes any problems out of trying to use your feet, your ankles, your legs to balance doing a bent over row. An exercise for the shoulders, a seated dumbbell lat raise. And the reason I like to do this seated is because standing with dumbbells and putting pressure on my ankles while my feet are pushing outwards can have a bit of an effect. So to be seated, feel really safe. And it also isolates the delts, the shoulders in a better way. So get comfortable, get seated, have the back of the bench supporting your lower back, and so that you're not arching it. And what I want you to do is get the dumbbells to the side of you with your palms facing down, and fetch the dumbbells up to the side, slight bend in the arms, slight pause at the top, and back down to the side of you again. And how I like to do this is a tempo of a nice 1 to 2 seconds up, squeeze at the top, and 3 seconds down. So a nice power up, squeeze at the top, 2, 3, down, straight back up, 2, 3, down. And you're working the medial parts of your delts and also the front. And this is a safe exercise. You know, quite often with CMT, a lot of things that you do in life are going to put pressure on your knees and your ankles and your feet. This totally takes that out of it. So that's a seated dumbbell side lateral raise.
We are going to be doing some lateral arm side raises, working out those deltoids. How we're going to do this with resistance bands is we are going to take the band, we're going to wrap it around the arm like so, closer to the elbow. We're going to hold that close to the body, roll those shoulders back and down, sit up nice and tall. Exhale up and inhale down. Exhale it up and inhale down. Awesome work. If you struggle with grip strength, I love doing this with loop resistance bands because it takes away having to grab the resistance. So the other way to do this is wrapping it closer to the elbows, rolling those shoulders back and down, and then lifting that arm to the side, like so. So that's a nice version if you struggle with grip strength. We're gonna do some weighted crunches with a resistance band. For this, what you're gonna want is a chair that has some kind of backing. If you are in a wheelchair, you can usually just hook this around the back of the chair. If you have the handles, it'll catch onto the handles. What we're gonna do is we're gonna loop our band around the chair. And then we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Good pelvic posture. So what I mean by that is we're not arching, we're not curling. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. We're gonna wear these like a backpack. The bands are taut. And then we are gonna exhale, crunch it forward, and inhale back. Nice, slow, and controlled. Exhale, crunch, inhale back. Awesome work.
The machine I like to use in the gym for working the tummy, the core, the abs. There's lots of different machines you can use, but I like to use the rope and do a rope crunch. But to do this, I like to get the rope just behind my head, and I use my hips to hinge, come down, nice controlled movement, back up, pause at the bottom, straight back down. So I'm isolating the abs, keeping constant tension on the muscles, really working that. Now, you're not just going to get abs, you're not going to get visible abs from just doing crunches. It's what you do in the kitchen also. The nutrition plays a vital role. But what I would say is, you've got CMT, it is very important to keep your core strength as good as possible. And this is a fantastic gym movement in which to do so. Keep the rope behind your head, use your hips to hinge to the bottom, control tempo, and really feel that tummy working.